Hey everybody, hope all is well. Okay, welcome to part B, the commentary. So here we have what? Judge Green. She is a judge. Her son is accused of child abuse. And the grandkids have testified, or they're saying that, hey, she's a judge, our grandmother. She knew about it. She put makeup on us. The ex-wife. Oh yeah, he's abused him. And he's been protected by who? Protected by his mother, allegedly. Now, I understand people could say, hey, it's an ex-wife, kids get mad, things happen, they need discipline. I got it. They're saying that, hey, that there's like I believe a mark on one of the kids' faces, and that it was done with a belt, and that he's been beating them. You know, it sounds like they're saying it's not chastisement, but more than abuse. His response is, hey, I'm chastising the kids, that kind of deal. Okay, that's what I've gathered. But here's the thing about it. This lady here, she's a judge based on the allegations. So she has her education. She's successful in her own right. And then here we have another mother in the BC, black mother. I'm going to call her Mama Rowland. This is Nathaniel Rowland's a mom. And if you don't recall, he is the guy where the girl got into the wrong vehicle, thinking it was her Uber ride, kidnapped her. He murdered her. They're saying he was found guilty of stabbing her 120 times. Even his girlfriend, whom I believe it was her car as she was working, testified. There was blood found in the car. So this here, there was an abundance of evidence. She doesn't want to face it. So what do these two have in common? We got Mima, I'm going to call her Mama Rowland. And then we also have over here the judge. No matter what, they will go down on a sinking ship in order to save their sons. This one here, they're already saying, I mean, seriously, the trial, there was so much evidence. It's pretty much a prosecutor's dream. There's no reasonable doubt. Again, her son, the baby, his girlfriend, who was working in a fast food, working double shifts, he's driving around in her car getting high, and I believe he also has some other chick with him. Just living a dusty, diabolical, deadly kidnapping dream. And she still want to say, my son, we're going back to high school. What the heck you talking about high school? Anything for their sons. So Mima willing to risk it all, and the judge here, you risk your career. For who? Your son. This is the BC. And trust me, this can apply to all mothers of any race. I understand that black, white, you name it, green, anybody, Hispanic, Asian, they're going to be there for their sons. But only thing I've noticed is in the BC, it's always about the sons. Now, let it be a daughter. Oh, you would be on your own. Well, look here. Tanisha did that, and I can't risk my career. I'm a judge. Keep that away from me. Keep that away from me. More than likely, I'm willing to bet they would try to distance themselves, especially I'm thinking the judge. I'm willing to bet, in my opinion, she might try to distance herself, but it's her son. Got to protect him. Protect him at all costs, even at the risk that everything you have possibly worked for could be at a wash, could be at a loss. Protect him at all costs. This is the BC. You have to understand, when these dusties commit a crime or do something, engage in some kind of derelict, dangerous behavior toward others, there is no accountability. There is no accountability for them even getting a woman pregnant. There is no accountability for them when they run out and they're not responsible for their children. There's whatever they do, no accountability. That's all on who? It's all on a black woman. And that's why no matter the education, the socioeconomic level, their standing in society, that's why you can have them like this here on the bench, educated, I don't know what Mima's status is, but she's a lot older. It's the same thing. Same thing. My son, he can do no wrong. He can do no wrong. There's no accountability. No accountability, none whatsoever. So I hope her son, as for me, Mom, honey, the, Nathaniel Rowland, the evidence, I watched the trial. It's a wrap. He was found guilty. He is where he belongs. I knew because I raised him. This lady right here, the judge, your son, I hope he's worth it. You could lose everything. They're talking about having her disbarred. So that would include your legal license. So you couldn't be a judge or an attorney. You risk it all for your son. He can do no wrong. Risk it all. They had like a love affair. I don't know. Maybe it's because the men failed him and the son became the great hope. They had like a love affair that no matter what they do, no accountability. He's basically the black man is placed on the throne in the BC. He can do no wrong. And a black woman, everything is her fault. If she's got a child by him, oh, that's why so much crying. These black women having all these kids. It's a two-way street. No woman gets pregnant by herself. It's all on the black woman. This is what they do. Blinders on. So this right here, if she's disbarred, she can lose everything. I hope your house is paid for. Her entire lifestyle financially could change. They'll risk it all. In the BC, there's no money for if you have a black son and maybe wants to start a business, go to school, and the black woman, good luck, you're on your own. But notice, they'll go to bat for a Dusty in a heartbeat. Will go to bat for a Dusty in a heartbeat. So at this point here, based on their findings, and the grandkids are testifying against her word alone is just not, it's a wrap. But the idea that you would even place yourself, if she's using her position to protect her son, and I don't find that unlikely at all. I think most mothers would. But the issue that I have is no matter what in the BC, there's a common theme, regardless of education, regardless of age, they're going to protect these black males if they get into a jam or accused of something, if they're found guilty of something. You can't be clueless. They're going to protect them at all costs. So she'll step down from that bench because my son, she may not be saying my son like that, my son. How many of them have, you've heard about them commit the crime, meanwhile put a house up, especially older black people. Like the woman in Brewster Place, when Oprah did that part, it happens all the time. I've seen them come up with thousands of dollars. And I ask a person, one of the relatives, I ask her, the allegation you're talking about, that's really major. Do you think he did that? And she said to me, well, his baby mama is testifying him against him, and it was on a child abuse charge. Girl, do you think he did that? I said, this is horrible. We just trying to find a lawyer. Look up her sister, and the mother. They came up with thousands of dollars to get that attorney. And of course, he was found guilty. He tried to, the child was abused in a bathtub. He tried to lie and put it off on the baby mother and say she did to get it off him. Yeah, only little problem was she was at work and he was watching the kid, watching the child. I think he did it on purpose. She and I don't really speak. I just, that kind of bothers me a heck of a lot. Let's just say the child was in the bathtub. He wanted to say the child was put in scalding water. Fool, you do know, like a 3 and 4 year old, they can't talk, right? They can talk. You do understand that. Child ended up in one of those burn units. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. But they came. I'm like, do you think he did that, your brother? His baby mama testified against him, and he tried. In that case, he tried to put it on the baby mother, but she was at work, and she didn't have a car. He was watching the kids on his day off. She didn't have a car, and so she was on a bus. It had some kind of bus card. So yeah, they could show that. Yeah, she rode the bus, had a bus car. She went to work when this happened. Only one adult was in that home, him. And the child testified for the prosecutor, the baby mother. Are you kidding? She's the one that found him, called the police. Neighbors heard her hollering hysterically. Then the story changed up. Oh, the baby ran that boiling hot water in that bathtub and got in himself. I'm like, it doesn't even make any sense, because let's say the baby had his hand or foot in there, they would have felt that it was scalding hot and got out. That baby was immersed in it. But yet and still, they came up with some money to hire an attorney. Put money on his, and it's like, she never once said to me, I don't think he did it. Her response was, the baby mama testifying against him. So really? Only one of those is in the house. Him and the 2 kids, and this is what happens. In my heart of hearts, I think she didn't say he didn't do it, because deep inside she knew he did it. And from what she told me, I believed he did it. But they came up with some money to get an attorney. Why? We don't want to have him in jail. No accountability. And I was like, wow, but you could have come up with any money. They could have used that money to buy a condo, buy a house, and lease it out. Take the money to a brokerage firm and invest it. Anything for their sons. Welcome to the BC. For these dusty black men engaging in danger to others, there's no accountability. There's no accountability really at all, no matter what they do. It's always on the black woman. So this right here just shows you the mammy biscuits. They can come in a cute green suit, educated woman. Mammy biscuits also come at trial. They have evidence of video of the girl getting into the car with your son, and she ends up dead. Oh my goodness, her blood matches the victim's blood matches the blood found in the vehicle of your son's girlfriend's car that he was driving. I know my son, he didn't do it based on how I raised him. Well, sweetie, I'm going to have to call that a parenting fail. And this lady, if she loses everything, again, they're talking about being disbarred. You won't be able to practice law. You won't be a judge, you won't practice law. Is it worth it? They will go through hell and back for their sons. And that's the problem. The same thing is passed down to black women. That's why black women are accepting of this mistreatment. They can beat you, rob you. They can come to you, don't have to offer a darn thing but poverty D. CD, community D. Moby Dick. You get it? Just, if he's a man, he's black, that's that. He qualifies. And that's why they can treat black women the way they do. It's accepted. The mammies before them did it. Whatever they do, it's okay. It's okay. Let it be. What's the thing I say? It's all right. It's all right. Just be white. When it comes to the BC, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. It's a black man. It's okay. It's a dusty. Let it slide. So for the judge, I hope it's worth it. I mean, will forsake your livelihood. How you afford to maintain your existence will forsake your livelihood, aligning yourself with dust. I have no sympathy. Welcome to the BC. It's the home of the protected Dusty. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, and I'm out.